Day two, Honduras. We uh, we had a good night last night. We went and had a meal at the superintendent for the Assemblies of God for all of Honduras. Went and had a meal at his house, and it was really beautiful home and great Honduran food. It was just it was a very special moment for our team. Then we came back and our team debriefed. We were exhausted, yet we still spent time in prayer and worshiping and just time reflecting on the highlights of the day and what God presented in our path, what we did, we talked about. It was just a good debrief. Fast forward, no, rewind. Right after that, I killed a scorpion. No joke. Here's a picture of it. Today was a beautiful morning because I woke up at 4:30, came outside, and it was dark outside still. Turned the lights on to this. This is their chapel, or their I can't remember what they call it, but it's their tabernacle is what they call it. It's just this open air. It has steel beams and a stage right here, and I just spent my morning in here, and you can't see it, but off in the distance behind the camera, the sun was coming up, and it was the most beautiful orange, and it was so good just to be in the presence of God. Yesterday I talked about how God desires us to go up the mountain, and this morning I spent time doing that with him. As a team, we went to breakfast, and then we went to our first kids crusade. And you guys, it was beautiful. There were about 150 kids there. 65 actually gave their lives to the Lord. Just amazing. Brother Ken Harrell, the missionary who we came to see, he does a phenomenal job. Pastor Jaden did an amazing job. And I was so humbled and overwhelmed by the love of the Father, because in the ministry that I'm a part of, that my wife and I started, Faith Alive Ministries, we have the opportunity to minister to children every time we go out of country. And here it was the same and different. And every time I come across children, my heart just opens to them, because I know that that's how God created us to be, childlike, and how beautiful these kids were, and how accepting they were of the gospel, and how much they loved. After the altar call, and after the all the songs and the games and all the things that we did, we gave out these little bags with juice and 2 packs of crackers in them, or cookies. And they were so excited to get that stuff. And we gave out all this stuff, and I was going around asking for trash, and so I could throw it away. And there was this little boy who said, "Wait," and he took out a cracker. He can't speak any English, but he puts a cookie in my hands, and I was humbled, because this little boy got something special, and his response to receiving was to pour out, was to give, to release, to give back. And that is exactly how God has called us to be. God pours out his love, his grace, his mercy, his peace upon us so wonderfully that he just wants us to receive it with an attitude of, I want you to take part in what he's doing for me. And it's a humbling thing for a kid in Honduras, in a very low, below the poverty line area, to hand you a cookie that was theirs, that you gave them, blessed them with, and he wanted to turn around and give it to me. And I just want to, I want to live my life like that, you know? I want to live my life where I am a person who is pouring out or releasing from what has been given to me. To be a generous person. It says in Scripture, it's better to give than to receive. Why that is think of the amount of gallons that is cared for in a lake, right? That lake will periodically turn over new gallons of water. It will evaporate some water, but oftentimes lakes are found very stagnant and stale, and algae and buildup and things that come from a stale or stagnant still water. Now, think of a river. How many precious gallons of water are funneled through and cared for as a river? You see, Jesus says that He will give us a river of living water that will flow from within us. And a river cares for far more than a pond does as far as gallons go. It doesn't seem like it at the time. If you look at a pond, a body of water, it cares for a good amount of gallons, right? A lot of water. But a river allows water to pass through it freely so that it can be generous to the rest of the land. And if you don't know and you don't understand and you don't get the beauty behind generosity, just become a river. A river of life will both receive living water from above and pour out a living water from within, and it will get to see many more things flow through its life than a stale, stagnant pond. Sure, you may have gallons of worldly water, stale, stagnant water, but until you're releasing that into the rest of the world, until you're releasing it downstream, you'll never be given a tremendous amount more. A patch of river doesn't hold a lot of water at one time because God has made it to freely hold water openly. He can put things in and He can draw things out. That is what we're called to be as children of the Most High God. He wants us to hold His things with an open hand, whether that be people, money, possessions, anything that He gives us. He wants us to hold it with an open hand before Him and say, I'll be the river. You put whatever you want to, and I'll flow whatever you want to out. And that's a cool thing, because God will allow you to see so much more in your life pass through your fingertips. I'm not talking about material gain or possessions. I just don't care about that. I'm talking about the influence, the giftings, the nearness of the Father, the peace of Christ. I'm talking about grace and love and mercy and hope and things that have eternal value, not money. God uses money for dirt in heaven. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the abundant life God, Jesus, came to give us. Because it says in John 10:10 that the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come to give you life and life abundantly. And I just want to know what Jesus was thinking about when He said those words, life abundantly. And I think a healthy way to allow ourselves to become a channel of abundance is to maintain an attitude of whatever you put in, I will freely give away. Because God can set more in your hands when you're not close-fisted with what He's given you. So it's like 2 o'clock here, day 2, Honduras time. But this is what God's been teaching me today, to be a channel of generosity, a channel of whatever I'm gifted, I will gift. Whatever I'm given, I will give. To just be a segment of the river. And God bless you guys. Day 2 of Honduras out, and hopefully I'll have another one for you tomorrow.